recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
If he lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Well, the NFL is here. It is for real. We had the Hall of Fame game this past week, but now we got a full slate of preseason games, and this is where the hard work begins, right? It's the thing with the preseason is, I understand that people don't like betting it. I think there is a way to attack it. It doesn't mean you bet on every game, but you look for the favorable situations. But it does take a lot of work. It takes more work to put work into the preseason than a regular season. Like regular season, everybody knows everything. You've watched the games. The stats are all there for everybody. Preseason, it's not there for everybody. Right? Like people say, oh, they tell you what they're going to do. Yeah, but you've actually got to do the research to dig in and find out who's hurt, who's playing. As we talked about earlier in the week, I guess it was last night, I was going over some of the injuries in the National Football League. Like the Carolina Panthers have been absolutely destroyed by injuries in the preseason already, and it's reflective in the point spread. Now, it doesn't mean I want to lay 6.5 points with the New England Patriots. And in fact, you can make an argument that the spread's too high right now. But the NFL preseason is a very active and fluid market, and there's already been some line moves actually for these games. I've got about 6 games circled that stand out to me. And it's not all about quarterback situations, but obviously quarterback is an important piece. And it's more about whether the team wants to see the quarterback play. And if you want, if you're looking for healthy quarterback situations, you want teams that have a quarterback battle going on. You want teams that have multiple QBs, as we just talked about with the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston's been a starter in the NFL. Dorian Thompson-Robinson has been a starter and played games. Huntley has been a starter and played games. They're not going to see anything they haven't seen before. It's a great quarterback rotation to have in a preseason game. And a team with a really nice quarterback situation in the preseason here. And I like this team this week, guys. The Atlanta Falcons. We know they raised a lot of eyebrows when they drafted Michael Penix to go along with Kirk Cousins, the signing. But in hindsight, it is what it is. Yeah, they could have got a defensive player, but if Cousins gets hurt, it will be a good look that they have Penix to step up and in. Penix will be starting this game for the Falcons this week, and Penix is a solid football player, so you expect Penix to do pretty well. and their backup quarterback situation, you really do have a battle going on here with Taylor Heineke and with the recently signed Nate Rourke. So Nate Rourke, the CFL MVP, he's kicked around the NFL a little bit. He was on the Jags. He's on the Giants. Now he's on the Falcons right now. But when he played last year in the preseason for the Jags, if you recall, he played a quarter against the Dallas Cowboys, and he made some like badass plays. He's a good quarterback. And the thing is, Heineke makes, a lot of money, like $4 million a year. You can't pay a third-string quarterback. Like, the Falcons aren't going to be – well, they got to pay Cousins. They're paying a first-round quarterback price here for Penix. Nate Rourke might have actually found a spot that's perfect for him to stick as the third string. He might bounce around with the practice, but I don't know. Like, if they're going to want to pay Heineke, the door is there for Nate Rourke, Cam. And Nate Rourke played well last year in the preseason. This is his opportunity. And we're talking about a guy that's a star in the CFL. He's another guy, too, that he's just a good preseason bet. Like, he's gonna play well. He's playing for his career. He's used to playing with players he's not used to playing with. So I like the Falcons this week due to their quarterback situation. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins are a type of team. They don't care about the preseason as much. Their quarterback situation, they're going to have Mike White and Skylar Thompson. And I don't mind Skylar Thompson, actually. But I just like this Falcons quarterback battle that they have. New coach, set the tempo. Same thing with Harbaugh. Even though the Chargers are a little bit beat up, Harbaugh's the type of guy, guys, that he's going to want to win his first preseason game. Is it the same as a regular season game? No. But he's a Harbaugh. Look at his brother. His brother won like 26 preseason games in a row. The Harbaughs play to win all the time, especially in his first game, Cam. Look for the Chargers to be he'll be going for it on fourth down. He'll kick a field goal late to win if he has to. I expect the Chargers to actually try to win this football game, albeit with backups, obviously.
Yeah.
But Harbaugh will want to win the game.
Also, when you take a look at the Falcons situation, that's great. You're absolutely correct. These are guys that are really fighting for jobs and fighting for futures. And you look at Miami, Gabe, look at the money that Tua just got. You can't screw around with their backup situation as well, too. You have to be very, very careful with the quarterback room there because their whole goal is to keep this guy healthy and stuff. And if you get a backup or somebody injured in the preseason, then you got even bigger problems. So I think Atlanta, with their quarterback depth, that is important. And I think the new coaching angle is very, very important to gambling. New coaches want to come out there. I told you about the Seahawks, especially when you have a coach coming over from the Ravens who consistently are the best team in the preseason. And I couldn't agree with you more with Harbaugh. That guy wants to win a game of tiddlywinks, for God's sakes. He wants to beat anybody and anything. So, yes, I agree with you 100% when it comes to the Chargers.
The Baltimore Ravens have been the kingpins of the preseason over the last 6-7 years. Harbaugh just, they set the all-time record for consecutive wins, preseason wins. They're actually 1-point underdogs this week at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, which is kind of rare because Baltimore, the odds makers aren't dumb. They built this stuff up. Like Baltimore used to be big favorites by the end of this streak right now. But you look at Baltimore's quarterback rotation here, and it's not overly impressive suddenly. You've got Josh Johnson, who's been around forever, but they know what they're going to get from him. And you got Devin Leary and Emory Jones. So you've got very raw quarterbacks coming in here for Baltimore. I think the Baltimore, we bring this up because I don't want people to blindly just sort of look and go, Baltimore always win in the preseason. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've also used to have they used to have Tyler Huntley and these guys, didn't they? Like they used to have better backups. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. These are the type of teams you want to pick on when you've got multiple young quarterbacks or multiple unproven quarterbacks. If you got like multiple vet quarterbacks, it's like, all right, maybe you can manage it. But, between Devin Leary and Emory Jones, not a good look for Baltimore here. I understand why Philadelphia is favored. And I tell you what, Cam, your Carolina Panthers are in a terrible spot. They can't get Bryce Young hurt. Andy Dalton is hurt. And they've got Jack Plummer. So it's basically Jack Plummer time.
Jack Plummer time. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, no, it's a
He's
problem.
the only other guy on their roster. So, it's Jack Plummer.
they've been beat down too. Like before the
and they
start
lost
of the
their
year.
running back Jonathan Brooks, Xavier Legette, their first round draft pick or early second round pick. There, he's hurt already. Like even their young prospects are hurt. Like they're just it's a disaster for them. And the season hasn't started yet.
Yeah, and that was one over that I took because I know I was very high on Carolina and I want to put my money where my mouth is. Hey, who knows what's going to happen for the season? They have these guys coming back, but you're right. In the preseason, this is going to be straight vanilla with this team. I agree, Morency. They're fade material.
Other early camp news as far as quarterbacks are concerned, the Cowboys were really hoping that Trey Lance would develop and that he could become a legitimate option for them. But word is that Trey Lance just is not getting better and that Cooper Rush is actually holding him off right now. So that's the Dallas situation. Seattle, Cam, the Seattle Seahawks also struggling in camp is Sam Howell to the point where it's a problem. I think, P.J. Walker might end up being the backup quarterback right now. That's what these preseason games are for, though, for some of these guys. But Sam Howell has not had a good camp for Seattle.
No, but I trust P.J. Walker, and he's a guy I know people, he's been through a lot of different leagues. People go, oh, yeah, P.J. Walker reeks. No, he doesn't. The guy can still move. He can still get it done. He has the experience. I still think he'll be fine in the preseason. I think Seattle's going to be a very, very good preseason team. They'll want to come out of the gate winning.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it. He'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend, missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Great stuff talking NFL football. Great to have it back. Going over the preseason quarterback rotations of some of these teams. Some of them not so pretty. I think we're going to be able to capitalize on some of these rotations as the preseason begins this week in earnest. We already had the Hall of Fame game, but we've got two games on Thursday, and they're sort of spread out here a little bit. But just before we bring Delano in, this is the NFL card this week. So the Carolina Panthers, we talked about the Panthers. These guys are like really beat up in camp. They've had a ton of injuries already. And that's why they're getting 6.5 points. which is extremely rare to see a point spread this high in the preseason, especially in the first game of the year like this. Like from a betting perspective, I would just blindly take Carolina getting the 6.5, just point blank, just because most preseason games are not blowouts. Let's not forget the Patriots are terrible as well, right? So you really want to lay 7 points in a preseason game is dangerous. The Detroit Lions and the New York Giants, they're on Thursday night too. They've been doing a joint practice all week together, and anyone who's been paying attention, they've been beating the crap out of each other. The Giants got into a fight on their own earlier in the week. The Giants and Lions got into a fight. So the Giants are ready to hit somebody. I'll tell you that. Like, word out of the Giant camp is there's an extra edge to their camp this year. And the Giants are ready to punch someone in the mouth. Those are the 2 Thursday games. Friday Night Football, you got the Falcons, 2.5-point road favorites in Miami. Houston Texans at Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson won't play. Justin Fields will. And you got the Philadelphia Eagles, 1-point favorites against the Baltimore Ravens. Football is back, and so is Dave Delano right now. Dave, good to see you tonight. Thanks a lot for taking the time to be with us. How you doing?
Good to be here. I'm doing great. Just enjoying the end of the Olympics, ready for some football, still enjoying baseball, but doing good. Glad to be back here talking some sports with you guys.
I'm stressing out the end of the Olympics. I got USA over 39.5 gold medals, and they were kind of underachieving a little bit. They were a little off pace, but the last 2 days have been pretty good. Today was a really good day for them. They won the women's 200 meters. They won the men's 1,500 meters. They won a wrestling gold medal. So today was good. They're a little bit back on pace right now. But before we get back to the Olympics, Cam, we'll see if the White Sox are able to hang on tonight. But they currently have a 4-1 lead after 6 innings of play. The White Sox are now 8-1 on the money line. The Athletics guys, plus 500. Cam actually took the Chicago White Sox tonight. I did not. I didn't want any part of it, but so far so good for him, Dave. What do you think?
Yeah, that losing streak's got to end eventually.
I was hoping you weren't going to bet.
I was thinking that the last 2 weeks, though, but I'd been fading them a little bit. I stayed away today. Hopefully they hold on, and maybe tomorrow will be a good day to start going back against them.
This is the first time game I bet them in like 20 games too. Like we've been fading these guys. We've been betting against them live with leads. Like I just didn't like the fact that Stripling was laying 200 tonight when he's been a gas can. Like it's not over yet. The White Sox bullpen, 3 runs is never safe, Gabe. Never.
Well, the thing is, there's still, and it was almost mathematical. Like Dave said, like you lose 20. I said it earlier, Dave. You lose 21 in a row. Yeah. They have to. It's like a broken clock is right twice a day, right? 24 hours in a day. Eventually, they're going to accidentally win a game. You know what I mean? Yes. Like they're not going to lose 30 in a row or 25 in a row. Like the math was sort of on their side, actually. And I did say that before. But, we all thought, listen, coming into this game tonight, Kershaw had got hit in the last game, guys. Sanchez has been hit in his last couple of starts, Dave. And here we go. We got a scoreless baseball game in Los Angeles right now still.
Yeah, that's been an interesting one here. That Dodgers and Phillies game, I don't have any action on it tonight. But, it's going to be an interesting series. You think that this is going to be a National League championship preview? Or you think anybody else could sneak in there?
Yeah, it sort of has that feel, right? We've been talking about San Diego being a dangerous team in the playoffs as far as their odds are concerned, though. Because you talked about, I wouldn't dismiss the Braves either. I know they have a ton of injuries. But the thing with San Diego, Dave, is, and I know this is a Dodger fan, they're not scared of the Dodgers. We saw them beat the Dodgers in the playoffs. We just saw them sweep the Dodgers this past week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was the Dodgers, the San Diego are kind of one team I wouldn't want to play. I'd rather have to play a Milwaukee or, you got to play one of those type of teams. It's just, when you get the division rival thing, like the Dodgers lost to Arizona in the playoffs before. I think San Diego were kind of a little bit dangerous, actually, in the big picture, Dave.
Yeah, right now, Dylan Cease pitched tonight. he had that no-hitter not long ago. He's really in the zone. When you get a guy who's really pitching this well at the right time, I know it's still a little bit of ways away from the postseason, but that can really be dangerous. And like you just mentioned, they're in the same division. I mean, we've seen that the last few years, even with the Braves struggling with the Phillies when the Braves had better seasons. The Dodgers, like you mentioned, struggling against the Diamondbacks. It's always tough when it's a team.
Yeah, you don't want to play
division.
your rival, man. It's like a football team in college football. You get to the playoffs and you're playing someone in your conference. Like the team that knows you and doesn't like you. You're better off with fresh blood, actually. You see it all the time, these division rivals. But there's like you said, it's in baseball, it's about peaking at the right time. And we're still a little bit early here right now. But I almost think it's kind of good for the Dodgers that San Diego are on their heels a little bit. In the past, we've seen the Dodgers kind of cruise. And teams that cruise through September, they lose that edge and that intensity
Exactly.
by the time October comes. And, Betts is going to be coming back soon. He's coming back on Monday, I think. So Betts is back. Yamamoto's around the corner. I think everything's sort of falling into place for the Dodgers, Dave, in the big picture, actually. Speaking of peaking at the right time. They're going to be sort of coming together again in September, and they'll have a full month to sort of get ready for the playoffs again.
I still don't fully trust Kershaw, though. I mean, we'll see. I don't know how you feel about it, Van, but I know that he's coming in. You got to put Kershaw out there, but maybe just 3 or 4 innings. But I'm still have my doubts about him.
He's looking good tonight.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
If he lands it pin high, he's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
He's got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Just to recap, our boy Andrew McCannis, he wanted to get in on the way out that he likes the Washington Commanders this week. So he likes the Commanders. He likes the Argo Stampeders over the number. And he likes the Saskatchewan Roughriders this week as well. We didn't get to the CFL. We were talking about the Olympics, Poland, USA. And he's on Poland. I'm on Poland as well. We picked Poland and Italy, both to make it, both to win the gold medal, hoping that they would end up playing each other and we would automatically win. And they're both into the semifinals right now of Olympic play. That goes off in the morning, but I do like Poland to win the match at minus 150 as well. Dave Delano in the house with us. So just talking about peaking at the right time. Baseball, it's so wide open. We were talking futures a little bit last night, Dave, on the show. And, you know, when it's the National League, everyone sort of always gravitates towards the Dodgers and the Phillies right now, right? Everybody, it seems like they're on a collision course. The American League, though, there's not like the two consensus teams. There's a lot of question marks about the American League. You know, Baltimore, the Yankees, are the Astros. You know, look, the Astros getting back in the mix right now. Everybody's dismissing Cleveland, despite the fact that they've got a great record. I'm hard pressed. If you ask me who's going to win the American League, I don't even know. Who would you say, Dave? If you had to pick someone to win the American League right now, who would you say?
You know, as much as the fact that the Astros have come back so much this year, and the fact that they're still in it when they've had so many injuries and dealt with things, it's hard to go against them off track record. But I think that a sneaky dark horse, which really shouldn't be an underdog because they're really tied for the best record, is the Cleveland Guardians, especially Progressive Field. The way that that's played in the past is a great pitcher's park. It's been one of the best hitters parks this year. You look at, Jose Ramirez. If this guy was like a Yankee or a Dodger, you would hear so much more about him. I mean, Stephen Kwan. The Guardians have a lot of talent that doesn't really get talked about. And I think because it's Cleveland and, you know, it's not really the real sexy franchise, no one's really even talking about them. You wouldn't even think that the Guardians were above 500 if you were just following what you hear on the media. So I think that's a good way to go. I know a lot of people say the Yankees, they're tearing the cover off the ball. The Yankees look great right now, but I don't think it's going to go that simple. I actually go out on a limb and go with Cleveland here. I was thinking about this the other day.
Bold.
It's very bold. But, Gabe, want to know what the thing is? Delano's right, because take a look at Baltimore. Even they've had their swoon, right? And you talked about it. And the Yankees went through very high at the start. Then they went through – the Guardians have actually been the most consistent team if you're looking in the American League. Like, they're the only ones that haven't, gone down the tubes and whatever. They've been consistently solid all year. And they got a lot of great players on the team. They got great pitching. They're dangerous.
One thing about the Yankees, I'll say, and I have a hard time sort of fully buying in. I wonder about their pitching in the playoffs. And when it gets to the playoffs as well, nobody will pitch to Judge. So you're really going to be able to take Judge out of the equation in the postseason. They're still dangerous. Let's be real. The Yankees are dangerous, but I like where you're going with Cleveland. My gut feel was the team you originally just talked about in the Houston Astros. In that they've got the pedigree if they get there. And if you ask me, all right, who's going to win the series between the Astros and the Mariners in the playoffs, or the Astros and the Guardians in the playoffs, I'll be like, man, got to take the Astros. Got to take the Astros, like Astros-Yankees. I take the Astros, Astros-Orioles. So if they get there, I kind of buy into that. But at the same point in time, Seattle, Seattle play playoff-style baseball, right? They win close games. They've won low-scoring games. Like I said, to me, the American League, guys, is extremely intriguing and still very, very wide open. The baseball playoffs as a whole are just wide open, guys. Like, the best teams don't win in baseball all the time. It's a lot like the President's Cup in hockey. The team with the best record in baseball does not have a good track record of winning the World Series, guys.
All you got to do is get in. That's all you got to do in baseball is get in.
Yeah.
You got a shot.
And you see the team that wins that a little two-game wild card, they're hotter, and then they take on a team that hasn't played in a week, 5 days, and it takes them out of their rhythm because baseball's every day, and you got a 5-game series. It's dangerous. I think it's ridiculous. We have 5-game series this early. You play 162 games, then you got a 5-game series after when you're a first-place team. But that's what makes the playoffs sweet. All right, we'll hit some Olympics on the other side. Let's roll.
recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
Well, isn't he, John Rahm? And OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing a trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
This is SportsRage. Speaking of the San Diego Padres leading 4-0. So this baseball team just keeps on winning baseball games. Dangerous team right now. Dangerous team. So we're kicking it with Dave Delano, Cam Stewart in the house, still 4-1. White Sox Athletics. The Philadelphia Phillies have put a run on the board on the Dodgers, 1-0, end of 5 right now. And the Tigers lead the Mariners 3-1. Dave, Olympic basketball continues. The USA dialed it up a notch today. Listen, Brazil hung around. They went on a run early in the second quarter, and they cut the lead to 8. And it was somewhat surprising. It was like, whoa, Brazil are getting a little confidence here. But the U.S. dialed it up a notch. They play Serbia again. They've drilled Serbia the last 2 times they played. 1 exhibition game, 1 real game. Number opens up at 16.5, Dave. This is just because they got smoked last time doesn't mean they'll get smoked this time, Serbia. And I think a classic example of that is France, who got lit up by Germany and then responded today. What do you think about the 16.5 points with the USA and Serbia?
Well, 16.5, and really, whether it's basketball, football, you never really feel good about being on the favorite side with the 16.5. But, we saw Serbia. In the U.S., they smoked them in the international friendly and opened up the Olympics, and I kind of like Serbia in those. This one, I would lean towards the United States. I'm not sure if I'll actually bet it. I know it's tight, but for some reason I could see this being like a 100-82 game, something that they just barely missed covering. But the way the U.S. has been playing right now, if I'm not getting at least 18, 19 points, it's going to be tough to go against them. I know that they they're 2-2 against the spread so far in the Olympics, but they had some of those, that South Sudan game where that spread was a little bit ridiculous. And I think that this is a game that the U.S. is going to give their best effort. I know it's not the gold medal game, but with Jokic being on the team, I think that the U.S. is still going to kind of approach this like the game, a gold medal match. And I think that when, at least from the spread, I think that the gold medal game might be a more dangerous spot for the U.S. than this one. So I would actually, if I had to, I would actually lay that 16.5 with the United States.
And Germany just keeps winning. This team is unbelievable. 12 games in a row they've won right now in international play with this unit. They won the World Cup last year, 8-0 run. Now 4-0 here. They were down early to Greece. They came back. They played France in the round robin last week, and they absolutely smoked them. They humiliated them, but I think that motivated France. It was a bad deal for Canada because they had to deal with a pissed-off French team today that was embarrassed in their last game. So here we get the rematch, and the odds makers showing France a lot of respect here, Dave. 4.5 is the point spread. Germany minus 4.5 against France.
Yeah, I like the French in this one as the underdog. I mean, what they showed against Canada, we've got a guy like Wembanyama on the team. I mean, it can really just change everything. I think what he showed today, from the defensive standpoint, even when you look at Team USA, I'm not sure that when they're on that there's anyone that can impact the game defensively the way he can left in this whole tournament. And, I mean, France, they have that potential. Obviously, Germany embarrassed them the first time, and Germany's been on a roll. But there's a lot of upside on this French team. And I would, get in that 4.5 or even as a money line underdog. I actually like the French in this one. I'm not going to go with both favorites.
Interesting. And that home court, as we saw today, really did come into play. That was a wild scene today in France. And now France have a little confidence, and it's also payback as well against Germany. They're almost probably happy that they've got the Germans here. And either way, they're going to be playing for a medal right now. So, Dave, before we get you out of here, I don't know if you've got any other Olympic stuff you want to hit, or we could take a look. We got NFL preseason football. And, of course, we got overnight baseball. Numbers are up, a bunch of afternoon games on a Wednesday afternoon, doubleheader with the Angels and the Yankees. Anything catch your eye overnight baseball? And have you started to dig into the NFL preseason yet?
Yeah, so as far as the Olympics, I've been loving watching it. As far as betting-wise, just pretty much just the basketball that we've talked about. Baseball-wise, mentioned surprise, but I do like fading. It looks like the White Sox are finally going to get a win today. With Estes on the mound tomorrow, I think it's going to be another spot to go up against them on the run line where you could get about even money with the Oakland Athletics. Yankees have been tearing the cover off of the ball as well. We mentioned I like their team total. I've seen some places having that at about 4.5. And when we talk about the NFL, as far as on my radar, when I was looking at this line so far between the Texans and the Steelers, a little bit of an early look ahead, it looks like it's about even. At least at the moment, it may change, but I really like the Steelers a lot in that matchup. Mike Tomlin is one of those guys. I know winning season every year in the regular season, but in the preseason, he's one of the best coaches around. This being the second game for the Texans. I still don't expect to see Stroud or that urgency. Justin Fields has a lot to prove. So really what jumps out at me a lot is the Pittsburgh Steelers on Friday. I like that one. I like that one a lot in the NFL preseason. And I know you mentioned the Panthers and the Patriots right before I got on here. As bad as the Panthers are, banged up and new coaches have things to prove, I really can't lay 6.5 on a bad team like that. I like the Panthers as a dog as well on Thursday.
I like where you're going with the Pittsburgh pick. Russell Wilson is hurt right now, not seriously, but he's not going to be playing. Justin Fields will. So you're going to have Justin Fields on the field who has something to prove. And you know what? Their quarterback situation is pretty healthy, actually, for a preseason game, guys. Kyle Allen and John Reese Plumlee as well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So as we mentioned, the Philadelphia Phillies up 1-0 on the Los Angeles Dodgers. This is pretty crazy right now just because of the number, but the Athletics guys are plus 1,500. They're down by 3, but they're plus 1,500. The White Sox are minus 5,000, 50-1 right now. A team that's lost 21 games in a row.
I'm going to stay put. Yeah.
The famous last words.
I just see these guys losing on a walk-off grand slam or something like that. But how many outs they have left, Gabe? 4 outs, right? They got 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Nah, maybe it's their night tonight, but it's never over till it's over with these losers. I'm just going to stay.
Begging you to throw something on the A's. They're begging you.
They kind of are. Yeah, it's getting me excited. And I'm on the White Sox.
I've done it quite a few times. I've jumped in and bet against the White Sox late in these baseball games, but they're running out of real estate. Like I said, the math is on their side tonight. They seem to be into this, and they're dialed in tonight. The streak ends tonight. This will go down as one of the biggest train wreck games in the history of baseball. Nobody in the stands, a team that's leaving the city, the Chicago White Sox on a 21-game losing streak. But they are winning 4-1. But quick, Dave, before we get out of here, actually, speaking of the Astros, Kikuchi's on the hill here tomorrow for the Stros. What'd you think of that deal with Kikuchi going to Houston? And another nice piece for them for a nice playoff run.
He was really impressive in that first outing. I'm not really a huge Kikuchi fan, but the way that this rotation has been beat up and you've got a veteran arm there, that is – I guess it's a nice piece we'll see going forward. And he was impressive in his first outing, and he was always so terrible.
Like, remember the first inning, Gabe? He got lit up. Like Kikuchi showed so much guts that game. Like, the fans weren't really down with the trade, but after that first, he battled and battled and battled the whole game. Then they gave him a nice standing O at the end. Kikuchi can do that. He's tough.
It's hard to blame the Astros fans, though, because Kikuchi, through his career, he's been so terrible against the Astros as a business pitcher. He's been terrible here. So I cannot.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par fives. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
The Philadelphia Phillies have taken a 2-0 lead right now. In the top of the 6th inning, 2-0 Phillies, and they've got runners on. We'll keep our eye on this. The Phillies are now minus 550. Dodgers plus 375. In-game total 6.5 right now. Still a lot of baseball left in this game. The White Sox are on the verge of ending their 21-game losing streak. They're winning 4-1 right now over the Athletics in the top of the 9th inning. San Diego's up 4-0 in the top of the ninth, and it's 4-1 for the Detroit Tigers over the Seattle Mariners. So as far as the Olympics are concerned, I've been stressing out my medal bets. I got 4 of them. Canada gets there today to really soften the blow of the men's basketball loss, because right after the game was the women's hammer throw. And I bet on Cameron Rogers before the Olympics started, so we hit the gold medal bet. It was minus 134, so it wasn't plus money. She was favored. But she gets it done. It gets Canada over to 5.5. The USA are lagging a little bit, but they had a big day today. France don't have a hope in hell of getting to 26. And I think China actually will get there. But they're at 33.5. Grace Note projects them to get to 35 after today. So I think the team events are going to really, really be necessary for the United States going into the weekend. Men's basketball, women's basketball, the U.S. women's soccer teams in the gold medal match against Brazil. And then you get the golf, and potentially an American can win the golf, and that counts as a gold medal for the U.S. I'm not sure. It's basically Nelly Korda or bust when it comes to an American winning. I think this tournament, Cam, there's some big odds. There's a big drop-off after Nelly Korda. She did win the gold medal, similar to Xander Schauffele. Korda is the defending gold medal champion. She had a dominant start to the season, but she's hit a wall as of late. But she is a defending gold medal champion. And the women's golf starts tonight at 3 a.m. Eastern time, midnight Pacific. Cam, what are your picks? Who's going to win the gold medal?
Well, Gabe, I got 4 for you. And actually, the American I'm going to go with, even though I have Korda for a top 5 and 10, I like Rose Zhang. I really think she's built for this course, and she's been very, very solid throughout the campaign and getting more confidence all the time. I think 16-1 is a really good number. I expected her to be around like 12, but she's my girl from the United States, and I think she could be the top American at a price. Lynn Grant is one of my favorite women's golfers. As I talked to you about it before, buddy, she won a men's tournament before when they had like a mixed, and she also came back from 11-stroke deficit in a women's tournament. She's a really, really special player, and usually always in the top 5, but I need her to break through with a win. But that's kind of like what Xander Schauffele did. I kind of look at them as parallel players. Once she gets through and wins even more, she's going to continue to be there. So Liz Grant, great player from Sweden. Hannah Green for Mick Ozzie, very underrated Australian player, has been top 10 in multiple events recently. She's in perfect form right now, heading into the Olympics. And my long shot special, Patty Tavanikit, she's really, really solid. Her and her sister were 2 of the best players, but she struggled for a bit, but she's really over the last couple of months getting it together. And I looked at that 30-1 price. I'm like, wow, she's like one of the best female golfers in the world. So I'll take a shot with her, Morency. That's my big 4 for the ladies. Korda could be the gold medal winner. I just wanted a better price because I think there's a lot of competition between the like 12 and 30 range with the ladies.
Yeah, Korda is sort of like Scheffler in that she could win, and it wouldn't be surprising at all if she stumbled a little bit, but it's kind of, you see this a lot, Cam, where a player will be hot, stumble, and now she can end the season with a massive win like this as the defending gold medal champion. Cam said Rosie Zhang. Should be noted, she's like the only player, there's her and another player that actually played here before. By
Yes.
chance. She's actually played at this course before, and she played pretty well. You know, it's not a be-all, end-all there. There's a lot of, it's a tough pick here. We were talking about Brooke Henderson. She hasn't had the best year. She just doesn't seem to have that next step, that next level. But, with the each way, Cam, the top 5 paying sort of podium, I can't do top 3, but each way top 5. Mm-hmm. I don't really hate that potentially Brooke Henderson gets hot and maybe she wins a bronze medal or something like that. But when I'm looking at this, I think some of these numbers are a little off. And here with Hyo-Ju Kim at 18-1. Very dangerous golfer that really could be in the mix, guys. And you're getting a nice number. So I'm going to each way her, basically top 5, Hyo-Ju Kim. Lydia Ko at 33-1. It's just a crazy number.
Thank you. I wanted to mention
That's way
this.
incredibly high odds for Lydia Ko.
She has to be added. She has to be added. And I also was watching Golf Channel, and the thing about Lydia Ko is she was the best women's golfer in the world. And then Nelly Korda came on the scene, right? And I know Ko. She's one of those people that if she gets off to a really hot start, Gabe, I'm adding her to my list. 33-1 is ridiculous for a woman of her talent. She should be like literally 15-1. Like the fact that she's 33, you want to talk about a value bet? Great call by you on Lydia Ko. She also has the experience. If she's in the mix, she knows how to finish a tournament. That's the whole thing. A lot of these in women's tournaments, sometimes things get a little bit crazy. Like, a triple bogey, a quad. When things go off the rails, they go off the rails. But Lydia Ko is one of those people that she's very consistent. Excellent observation, great price, and I think she'll like the course. Great, good pick.
Yeah, at 33-1, I was surprised about those odds, Cam, for a player as good as she is. So I'll roll. You know what? We can't take everybody. I don't have a problem with sprinkling Nelly Korda just because you get your money back if the other ones don't win. But looking at this, Brooke Henderson at 14-1 for like podium, top 3, 5. I can't do top 3, but top 5 for Brooke Henderson. Hyojo Kim 18-1, similar situation, top 5. Lydia Ko 33-1, same thing, top 5. Those are sort of some bigger numbers right there. Yeah. And also, I wouldn't dismiss too the like I said, I think the Koreans could do all the Jin Young Ko as well at 11-1.
I agree. Both of them are solid. Another thing, watch out for Céline Boutier. She's the representative from France who is actually playing good golf right now, and she'd really want that one to win. I think she's about 22-1. I like her more for a top 10, but Boutier is the French representative, and she's actually a really good golfer. She's consistently
16-1.
Yeah, her odds have gone down, actually.
We'll hit some odds boost on the other side. I've got a bunch of Olympic best bets for you. We're far from done.
Recently, I feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not making bad swings. I don't feel like I'm making terrible decisions, and just had got a little bit of a streak of bad luck on par 5s. Didn't birdie any of them at the Open, didn't birdie any of them today. It's just, and I didn't feel like I did anything terribly wrong, right? But that's just golf. It happens. What's done is done, and this week is the most important week of the year right now.
He lands it pin high. He's going to be off over the pin position and leave himself a tough putt there. That should bite now. He didn't like it by the looks of it, but he'll love it when he sees it.
Just got this before that bunker. Put himself in a good position.
Just a tiny little baby fade, ideally placed.
To tie the lead at 16.
OMG, what a championship Sunday we just witnessed.
Win, right? Selfishly, you always want to get that done, but you don't want to see a teammate and a good friend, missing a putt for that happening for me.
The Live Golf League delivers every single event, doesn't it? I mean, what an incredible finish there. You know what, Tyrrell Hatton, I feel for him. He's been playing beautiful golf. In fact, since Miami, he's been the best player in our league based on the strokes gained metric.
I'm really happy that I had my first Live Golf win. Now that Kelly and the kids are watching, just knowing that I'm bringing the trophy home for them, it feels good to say that it's coming home.
Well, I see the Olympic schedule right now. 4:50 a.m. Eastern, sport climbing. That's when you know you're hardcore if you're up at 4:50 in the morning with money on sport climbing, which is pretty crazy, actually. They climb the wall. It's a bunch of like sort of like plastic rocks. It's basically like, rock climbing, except it's like speed version. It's pretty crazy, some of these modern sports. Like these guys would be great bank robbers. Like they can climb like 5 stories in a second. Like, they defy gravity. It's like they jump on the wall. It's like they kind of just they take like 3 steps. Bang, 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 bang. Next thing you know, they're at the top. Like I watched it today. They were doing it in like 5 seconds. It was pretty nuts. Like to get to the top in 5 seconds. This sprint stuff. But these are all the type of things that I just got to hope that, all right, I hope someone from China or the USA wins a medal in. Like, that's what I'm doing now for the rest of the Olympics. I just tune in every event. I'm like, is it American or someone Chinese in this thing? I'm like, let's go. Come on.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great.
I've got a lot of bets still remaining. We'll go over them after in level 3 here, but I got in on something. I don't really even know what the hell it was. It was Saturday night. I had a couple of drinks. I was betting on the Olympics, and I thought the event was coming up now. I was just sort of like, whatever event is next, I'll bet type of deal. I was in full bet mode. And I bet on Formula Kite, which I'm like, after when I looked at this, I'm like, Formula Kite? I don't even know what the hell this is. It's a new sport. And they're basically they're like sailing with a kite. It's pretty crazy. And they're doing tricks. And this goes down tomorrow. I've got the guy to win the gold medal, but they took it off the board because whatever. They take this stuff off the board a couple hours before it starts sometimes. So it's a little bit late there. But like I said, Cam, me and McInnes went over it. You got all that volleyball action in the morning. And I would recommend taking Poland. It's been a nice run by the Americans in men's volleyball, but Poland are just too much for them. Like I said, Poland were the pre-tournament favorites to win a gold medal. They're in a semifinal right now. Like McInnes said, these guys play power volleyball. They smash the ball. Like they don't want to rally with you. It's spike, 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 and they drill it. Like I said, when I say like the Canadian women are good at that in beach volleyball. Like they drill it. That's the whole point, Cam, in volleyball. Drill it at people's heads, man. Right? Because if it's at the chest, they'll play it off their chest. If it's low, they're gonna play it.
They'll dive.
The best thing you can do is just drill it at people's heads. And Poland have it down to a T, man. I'm telling you. It's like dodgeball. These guys are just spiking balls at your head constantly, and it wears other teams out. And like McInnes said, the USA like to bounce it around and pass it around a bit. I think they're going to be in tough here. Minus 150 is a very fair price for Poland. Men's volleyball. If you guys missed out on the gold medal, you can still, win along the way here with them to get there.
I'm going to ride your wave with Poland. I like what you said right there. You know what, Gabe? Too, you mentioned earlier the Canadian team. What were you guys saying? 8-1. It's a very good price for them. And you said you have the other side, so it's a good hedge piece if you have the other team.
I have the Brazilian girls to win the women's beach volleyball. The Canadian women are 8-1 right now. They're 2 matches away from the gold medal match. So they got to win one. There's quarterfinal, semifinal, then they'd be in the final. But now they're into the semifinal. Like but it's a weird format. You could lose and whatever. There's 6 teams, so it's kind of confusing with this beach volleyball stuff. It goes on forever. But they're alive, bro. Like I said, they're a freaking dangerous team, man. They just knocked off the Americans, who people thought, the Americans are so great, and the Canadian woman beat them. These 2 women in Canada have been playing together for years, like McInnes said. Very, very good team. Paredes and Wilkerson, plus 800. And they're the 3rd choice to win the gold medal right now. So like I said, they win a couple of games, boom, they're in it. We're going to have both sides, or you have yourself a nice hedge right now. And what should be noted, too, and I have a lot on this. I have a $500 parlay on the South Korean women archery team to win gold. They did. The Australian women's relay swim team, the U.S. women's basketball team, and tomorrow is the semifinal for the Netherlands women's field hockey team. Now it gets real. It's a knockout game, semifinal tomorrow. And the teams are good, man. Like Argentina and Belgium compete. The women's field hockey is very, very competitive right now.